morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to your day 20 Oracle card reading. I hope you're having a good whatever you're having when you see this, and I hope today's message finds you, regardless of whether you're participating in our 30-day devotional to the god Hades or not. Shout out again to the Beat Labs for my copyright-free Christmas lo-fi music. It is, and a look at the calendar. It is officially, we are officially 2 weeks away from the Christmas holiday if you celebrate, and we are 10 days away from Yule if you celebrate. And Yule is when we will be finishing our 30-day devotional. I will be going live on YouTube on that evening. And we will be finishing off our devotional to the god Hades, as well as welcoming in the winter solstice. Because in the Hellenic tradition, they do believe that Hades reaches his peak power on the winter solstice. So we're going to be doing some stuff. What? I don't know yet. Haven't been communicated that yet. And you know what? It's okay. Because as I've shared with you all before, I don't script. I do as little preparation as possible. I study, but I do little preparation as possible. I barely even write anything down, which I probably, should. Okay. We have games. Okay. So there's a few people that I feel the need to be like, hold on, pump the brakes. This is not the type of games that we're thinking of. We're thinking of like mind games and manipulation and it's not your fault in a way, but I would, if that's where your brain went right away, I would suggest you do some shadow work. Because that's some serious trauma that you're working through. Or that you need to work through and that we're not working through. Because these are literal games. These are games that, so when the card games, although yes, it can represent where some of y'all's mind went. That's not what this is. What are we going into? The holiday season. What are we currently in? The holiday season. I really dislike the people that say like, oh, Halloween, Samhain, Yule, Christmas is for kids. It's a kid's holiday. It doesn't do anything. Why? Why should it not continue to do the things that it did to us and for us as children? Are you understanding? This is about allowing the season to bring out that inner child. Now, I want to speak to some folks because I am aware that some of you have trauma centered around this holiday. I do too. I do too. And I don't mean that that came across as very sarcastic, but I do too. And it has been difficult over the past few years to get back to feeling like that, confronting the trauma that happened around this holiday, and realizing that that our inner child is still in there, and that we as adults have this great gift to now become the parent to our inner child, so we can give our inner child the holidays we didn't have. And it's not, and for those of you that know what I'm talking about, it's not about presents. It's about the joy. And it's about giving our inner child the joyfulness and the playfulness and the things that maybe we didn't always get, or maybe there was some confusion, because I know that unfortunately for myself, there was some confusion because there was trauma, and then the next year it was great. And it was like, so there was a lot of confusion centered around that. And so I think it's important that we see that and honor that. Excuse me, I am so sorry. My other phone's not on mute. That we, I don't want to say confront it and put it away, but yes, I mean confront it and put it away. Because again, you now have this ability to be that adult that maybe you didn't always have. And I told you it's a week of clarifiers. So we're going to pull a clarifier because I know that got deep. I have recaptured the holidays for myself, because then I want to be clear, because it was not just childhood trauma that I had centered around the holidays. It was some young adult stuff that also, and then, just some young adult stuff. And even some trauma centered around, my marriage at times. Hi. Peacemaking. What's up? There it fucking is. There it fucking is. Make peace. Make peace with it. And know that, again, you are in charge. And I'm childless, but if you are not childless, this is also about the fact that you have made it to where your children never had the type of holidays. And I also want to preface it, not every holiday for me was traumatic again. I do have a lot of really warm, positive memories centered around the holidays, both in my childhood, in my teens, and in my young adult life. But there has been trauma centered around the holidays and in those phases. So, I felt the need to preface it that. So if you are like me, or you are, unfortunately every holiday was just trauma. And if that's the case, I am so sorry. But let's make peace, and let's bring forward our inner child and give them some good Christmases. Let's reclaim the holiday season, whether it be Christmas, Yule. I know Hanukkah's over. I know Kwanzaa starts. Kwanzaa begins on the 26th, so the day after Christmas. So, again, maybe you just have a lot of trauma centered around this time. And when I say trauma, I mean many different things. You know, poverty is traumatic, and, you know, you may have all the love in the world, but you're extremely impoverished, and it could be so many things, you know. Maybe some really horrible things happened during the actual holidays itself. And then maybe some really great things happened a few holidays later, and it just, you know, but I've worked through that for myself. And as I said, you know, also, you know, within my marriage, there were quite a few traumatizing holiday moments. So it's not just childhood, it's everything in between, you know. So many spiritualists put emphasis on the childhood and the child, but what about the teen? What about your 20s? And I know I've said this before, but if you're new here, you know, there are so many different parts of ourselves that may have experienced trauma. So let's not just focus on one thing in particular or one phase of our life in particular. Let's move forward. And again, let's laugh and play games, you know. I'm going to hang out with my dad and his wife, and we're going to make some Christmas cookies. And I'm so looking forward to that. Because I said I wanted to do that at the beginning of the week. So there you go. And look at that. Look at that. The universe was like, oh, you want to make Christmas cookies? My dad called yesterday and he was like, hey, I don't want to, you know, privacy. So-and-so and I are going to a cookie exchange party, you know, at the beginning of the week, and we need to make 3 dozen cookies. You want to come over? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I will see you all tonight for day 20. And I love you all so much. And I hope you all have a good whatever you're having by the time you see this. Mwah. Blessed be.